Hello everybody, this is ZigZagZog returning for episode 8 of Total War 3 Kingdoms, playing as Sun Jian. Today the beta patch 1.1.1 is live, so we'll see what kind of changes that may have on our campaign. One thing that we've experienced, I believe already in an earlier episode, is there's no more forced march retreat. I believe Liu Biao earlier on in one of the earlier episodes was able to prolong the engagement by retreating on in a forced march stance. So I believe they've changed that. Satisfaction is supposedly going to be more important, but as we have our heroism that increases my satisfaction tremendously as long as I maintain my heroism score, hopefully that's not going to be an big impact, at least in this playthrough. And there's some family tree updates where we have better visibility of opposition family trees and the like. So let's get back into our playthrough. Also today they announced the a DLC, 8 Princes chapter pack, where a time frame after this 3 Kingdoms period is going to be available in early August. So all sorts of things happening with Total War. But as far as we're concerned, we just got through some bloody battles in Jiangxia port and Jiangxia. And I think we reached the end of our turn because I have no movement with Sun Ce, and I believe I'm weakened enough over here. I'd like for once to have my characters a bit stronger as we move into our next battle. Not that I expect major forces over here, but I'm tired of manipulating and have to worry about these low health main characters. I'm so afraid I'm going to lose them in this playthrough. So we're going to probably camp out a little bit and get some recruitment going, strengthen ourselves back up, some healing time for our main characters. And Sun Ce, well, there's 2 things we want to do. We want to increase our commandery and gain control of the whole commandery, and I'm also thinking we want to watch our back door with Liu Biao sitting up there because we are still at war with him. So we'll think about that as we hit the next turn button. As far as what we can build, I don't think we were left with any options. We're repairing there. Okay, so let's just hit next turn and start moving forward. Liu Biao, you want peace, but guess what? I want to conquer Huangzhou before I make any kind of peace with you. So let's just say no right off the bat. Yeah, same to you. And that remnant force from Jiangxia trade port is running away to wherever it's going to replenish. Sparring partners. When taking a walk one afternoon, you come across 2 comrades sparring in a courtyard. You watch their fight with great interest. It is as a dance. They move and flow around each other with strength and grace. You leave the encounter feeling truly energized. Huang Gai, his relationship with Lady Wu, I keep saying this, he's got to be careful. That's the wife. Sun Jian may not get too happy if this friendship goes too far. So be careful there, Huang Gai. We need you. Rural tax collector. That's right. We had demolished that building because I didn't like the popularity hit. And already our public order is returning. Faction support is in good shape. We're in good shape here. We're going to probably sit there. Let's see, it's autumn right now, so we'll probably sit there through winter, and then we'll make our move on Jiangxia farmland and see if we can once and for all get rid of Huangzhou. With our son Sun Ce, what I'm thinking is let's travel up the river and kind of take a peek at what we're looking at with Liu Biao, and then once we feel comfortable with that, we can finish overtaking the rest of our commandery. 2 more provinces to have a complete commandery, but a big one. We added a lot of good commerce and good dollars to our turns, our per turn numbers. So let's take this slight detour up the river, Sun Ce, and let's see how far we can travel up the river. Pretty far, pretty far. Very far, very far. Okay, so next turn we can be up around Jiangling. We'll see if we want to go a little farther up the river, take a peek at Liu Biao, see what he's looking like before we head to maintain and complete our commandery. I don't know if we have anything much else to build right now. Jiangxia, I do still have an assignment here. Whoops, I didn't click on Jiangxia trade port. We still have our assignment here for one more turn. Yeah, I think what I want to do is upgrade to the next level of trading port, just because the garrison is so much better at that level. Plus, my income improves from 80 to 110. So let's make that move. Our funds are still okay-ish. I think what I want to look at doing once we get up here is maybe look at expanding this force here as we go up to take a peek at Liu Biao. So a very simple turn. Let's just move on and get through and into the winter now. Oh, Liu Biao's coming down to take a peek at me instead. Save me the effort of seeing what he's up to. And I don't believe that Liu Biao himself sending one of his generals down south. Let's see, Wang Lang declared war on South, so I'm not even sure where Wang Lang is. I don't think he's of much consequence to us, at least right now. But anybody who can declare war on South Cao, because he's declared war on me, is a friend as far as I'm concerned right now. Sun Tse has gained a rank, so let's go to see how we can use that promotion here. See, we have available passion. Adds to his instinct, which is good. Zeal adds to his expertise, melee armor piercing damage, melee attack rate. And finally we have mobility, running speed. I'm kind of, let's see. I think we're just going to go with passion. That is his strength already, instinct. And he has his cavalry that'll help their melee damage for all shock cavalry, which we do have. So we're going to go with passion. I like some of the follow-up potential promotions next time down here, so that is our choice. Okay, we got to remember next turn Chengpu is being recalled from Changsha, so next turn we got to remember to assign him back out, whether it ends up being Changsha again or somewhere else before that. And hey man, oh, an enemy ambush was discovered, not of any consequence to us. So what have we got? We have 1502 in cash. Let's get down to here, and in the winter let's see if we can get Sun Tse up to the large town here of Jiangling. He should be able to reach. And we'll see if we can't recruit. I'm looking at increasing the cavalry, but I like having the shock cavalry. It's just not that super effective against the archers, so I think I'm going to add in as my next recruitment some of these cavalry here, the light sword cavalry that has a little shield and is much tougher against the archers that we've been going against and won't take quite as much damage. And let's see what this force looks like that Liu Biao is sending down, and not too threatening with what I have here sitting in Jiangling with Sun Tse, so I'm not too worried about that. We'll just see what they decide to do. And here with our leader, in fact, what I'm going to do is, I think in the meantime we'll put Sun Jian back in command of the army. Now that we don't have any walled city that we're going to be going up against, I don't need Huang Gai up there. So he will become my commanding general once again. And let's move on, get out of the winter so we can start moving around, having some fun and see what comes up. Poking on down the river, but not very aggressively. We can always, because we do have a Not greatly, but slightly larger force. I just don't like doing these roll of the dice battles, because that's what the naval battles are. The auto outcome, auto resolve. Balance of power isn't greatly in our favor, so it would be a bloody battle. So I think we'll just hang out here. I'm able to recruit, I think, one more cavalry and complete the cavalry that I want to expand on. And we'll leave that at that. Zhuangzhuo has formed a coalition with Liu Biao. So he's trying anything to stay alive right now. We're knocking at the gates. The Great Divide. Your officials witness smoke rising from one of your villages when visiting it for a routine inspection. Assisting the garrison there to kill a small group of men armed with flaming torches, they then ask where the attackers came from. The garrison commander explains that the rioters were in fact locals, protesting one of your recent decrees. As your star rises, the divide between ruler and subjects is unavoidable. You will have to monitor public order more closely. So Jiangling livestock farm took a hit with diminished supplies, and I lose 5 reserve capacity for that local commandery. Not the worst thing that could ever happen, but we'll keep an eye on our public order. We have New Zhao. Let's take a look if he's anything worth exploring, and can't even afford him now anyway, so we'll just move on. Take a look at him later, see if he's anything worth looking at closer. We finished our coastal trading port in Jiangxia. That should start helping our income over there, and the land registry office in Jiangling. So both those should start helping. Yeah, come back on our turn per turn income. Okay, it's time. We can get a little moving now. It's springtime. Time to get the motor going. And I don't know that now we can't quite reach here in one turn. So let's move up to the border with Sunjian and see if we can get a peek on the garrison on the Jiangxia farmland. Not too terribly scary, I don't think. We're looking at the garrison force there and his own force right there. I think it would seem something we can handle with their archer heavy, but I also have a nice contingent of anti-archer cavalry, so I think we, for this particular battle, unlike the city wall battle, are in much better shape. We have a reform that has come available for us, and seeing as how I'm about to take over some farmland, and I'm thinking I'm going to start expanding down here. Help population growth, not a huge concern, but I think it starts unlocking some troops also in this line. So does that. That's one of the eeny, meeny, miny, mo. We're going to go with the resettlement initiatives and help our population growth. And we're down to 548. I'm not going to look at any other expansion. We'll keep those funds in reserve. And next turn looks like we'll have a little old battle coming up here in the summer of 195. So with all work done, let's just take a turn and see where it takes us. Where's Liu Biao's minions gonna? They're gonna go sailing right on by. We may end up having to do an auto resolve on the water if he keeps doing some weird run like that. Diplomatic proposal. Yuan Shu, my best bud. What is he looking for? He wants to give me 622 per turn to form a coalition, which with him might not be a bad idea. Right there next to each other, easy to support. It's better than getting some random coalition request from somebody not so convenient and close. And I think just for the extra income, I think we're going to go ahead and do this. Let's look at negotiating. It's a pretty even-steven deal. And we'll give him a little more favor in our turn. We're still getting 616 per turn for 10 turns. I think we'll go ahead and accept that deal. We are now part of, we have the first coalition together. that we've formed in this playthrough. We'll see where that leads, and hopefully it doesn't yank us into too many conflicts that we don't want. Yuan Shao declared war on the Yellow Turbans. He's a little bit to the north of us. Zhuangzhuo has declared war between Liu Biao and Jiangxia, so that's fine. Liu Biao, stretch him as thin as we can get it. And Sun Jian has formed, as we know, the coalition with Yuan Shu. Character developments, we have someone else entering our area. We have enough money to recruit if we decided to. Let's take a look at what we had available. That's Yuan Shao, has some background there, superstitious, disloyal, not some great traits, that's for sure. And Fang Yingmin is where her past loyalties, maybe the ex-wife of Fan Yingming is what that was, or who this is, or yeah, we'll see. Not interested at this time. Let's battle. We've done enough of our strategy turns. It's time to head into battle and see if we can take Huangzu off the map, wipe out his forces, and control the whole of Jiangxia. And I believe this is just an open field map, ideally. Yes, a couple hills here and there, not too many trees. So let's set up. We should not have an issue with this. Our forces are superior, although he's not willing to surrender, being as it's the last province that he owns. So let's start the battle and see what we can do.
胸有成竹，则可决胜千里。
让这些狗贼尝尝怒火。
Lady Wu being a little feisty.
让敌方血流成河。
现在像狂风一样，去赢得胜利吧。
Okay, nice open field battle. They got the hill right in their area. I'm pretty flat in my area. For the start of this battle, let's group our cavalry so we can have some impact on their archers when they appear. Oops. There we go. We'll put Lady Wu over with the archers. I mean, all the cavalry. Will group them and put them on the flank over here. Of course, that'll change real quick if they're right there on the flank, but that's where we'll start our setup, and we'll put our main force advancing on the hill until we get the bearings of where he's hiding out, where our opponent is hiding out. So let's just back y'all up here real quick and set up the line that we want. I think we'll just do a traditional center line of halberds on the outside, center with the spearmen, and they'll form the front line. Then on the flanks we'll have those forces that I like to swing out into battle. We'll keep the medium axemen right there, and we'll keep the lighter axemen right here on the wings. I guess I should have. I keep talking about converting my light axemen to archers, and I keep not doing it. So far we've been surviving without it. I guess we'll have to do one more battle until I finally remember to convert my archery units so I have a larger archery force. But for now, this is what we got. This is our setup. Looks all right to me. And let's start the battle. Okay, let's head up the hill. Okay, we can see them just as I figured. They're starting out in the hill and the trees in their area. Now they're spreading out to take the rest of the hill. But their archers are kind of hiding in the back row, so maybe I can sneak up and get some shots off their melee infantry in the front without taking too much damage myself. That'll be the early play, I think, that looks looks like it's taking place. Let's take a look at where our cavalry's looking now. He's putting a spear guy, some defense over on the side to protect against my cavalry. But I think what we'll do is bring them a little farther back over here. Get them in place for when the battle starts going. Especially if he keeps his archery units towards the rear. Excuse me, towards the rear. And let's bring our own archers to the foreground, because I want them to see if we can get away with taking some pot shots on their front melee line. His archers are a little closer than I wish they were farther back into the rear. He's adjusting his line right now with my cavalry moving towards his rear. But I'm okay with this setup right now. We got the halberds in the front that I think are exposed to my archers, and I can do some weakening of his force real quick. So let's make that move. And he's not moving back against my cavalry in the back. He is just repositioning a little bit in the trees on the hill, it looks like. And we're just a little bit out of range. Let's loose our arrows on his halberds here that don't have shield protection, and see if we can do some damage before he's able to react. Already his archers were there though, and I'm going to be taking some damage. Let's see how long we can hold out and how much we can weaken before his arrows start doing some damage on me. Let's bring the cavalry a little closer in the rear, ready to react. Oh, he's charging forward already, so I'm going to have to probably withdraw my arrows quicker than I expected. Let's bring him back on a run so we can still get some shots off as they advance on me. And he's got his archers exposed in the back, so it's time to bring our forces in quickly so we can take advantage of those exposed archers in the back. And get mine out of the fray here as he charges my lines. Question being, did I have my cavalry too far removed? Time will tell. Depends on if my cavalry can break through to disrupt some of these archers back here. We're already panicking this first batch of archers that we're running into. Okay, let's get up, all you guys. Let's get all you guys up to these archers. We need to disrupt some of these shots before some real damage takes place. And I think we will shoot out my axemen over here, and then bring my heavy or my medium axemen out to the side, ready to flank around too. And it's time to bring these swordsmen out here to flank around too. We got to keep them busy, keep those archers busy so they can't be shooting on us too much. And it's also time to bring my generals out again, go against their generals. See if we can't do some damage there. Come on, run guys, run. We need some rear attacks on their line right here. We need to weaken that down. Our line is holding, but if we start hitting them in the back, that will deteriorate their line quickly, especially with their general having just fallen. So let's hit some slams in the back. Come on, don't maintain a melee with my cavalry here. There, they're falling apart rapidly now. I think it looks like we have this in hand. If we can just, there we go. It looks like the last one surrendered and is running away. And I'm not going to bother chasing down because we will claim victory and take over the territory, and that will be the end of this force. Decisive, successful victory here. Almost had a little woohoo trying to sneak out of me on that one, but we should have won. I'm just happy it was decisive.
奸恶之贼，必败无疑。
See if that helps our heroism ball. Gave us a little coin, 491, 29 heroism. That's what I was liking to see. We gained an ancillary, and we're able to occupy
必将秉公
the
执法
province and complete another commandery. So the commandery yields to me. I claim it back for the emperor. I hope he sees in these actions my skill and unwavering loyalty. So new experience and bonus experience for Sun Jian by taking the city. And Sun Jian plots a dynasty. Our challenge has been successful. We completed the path of glory by defeating Huangzu, Cai Mao a while back. And so we have increased public order by 5 for 5 turns, increased income from peasantry for 5 turns, increased population growth for 5 turns. So we're looking good on all those fronts right now. And Huangzu, the faction, is destroyed. And we have a new challenge issued, and that is if we are to secure the Southlands for the Sun, then any warrior standing in our way must be destroyed. Warriors like the Liu family, whose fate is already sealed. So it's telling us we can get another path of glory reward if we destroy Liu Biao. Let's take a look at where he's located here. We'll kind of zoom out. So as we make our march along the river towards the coast, expanding that way, that's where we're going to find Liu Biao. So that is eventually in my plans to expand that way, kind of keep the north out of the south. But we'll get rewarded for doing that, as a matter of fact, now. So that's all well and done. Character gained a rank. Sun Jian himself for taking over the city. So let's see how we can best promote Sun Jian to help us out down the road. You know, and I've been complaining about it all along, and I've been saying I'm going to transform this axe band here. This will finally make this force a little more effective against those towers. And I think, yes, I could always take these characters apart and get a strategist in here to increase that arrow power, but I'm going to keep it the way it is. I'm used to working with this group, and we're just going to add the fire arrow ability and night battle ability to Sun Jian, and that'll just make this force a little better equipped to handle those towers on certain villages and cities that we come across. So that's where we're going to apply his promotion on this one. Gonna make it work for us. We had mission success. We gained our rank. We have occupied the enemy capital. We have secured the commandery of Jiangxia. And we have oath sworn. The two battling together, Huang Gai and Lady Wu, no surprise. They have a budding friendship. And killed in battle the enemy general. And we received some ancillaries to take a look at. We have a military instructor, which enables the loose formation in the army that he's charged with, and a martial G, adding 12 expertise. So we'll see if we have somebody who's able to take a look and use that kind of a weapon. Not Sun Jian, but how? I think what we're going to do is give the military instructor to Sun Jian, enabling the loose formation for his own army here that he is controlling. So I think that's a nice beneficial, especially since lately I've been outnumbered by the archers. It'd be nice to put my own forces in loose formation to lower the advantage of being outnumbered in archers. So that's how we'll play it early on here. And one other ancillary, the Martial G. We'll see if anybody is able to make good use of that. Sun Tse, I don't know what your weapon is looking like. Yeah, you're not able to use it. I don't think it's ideal. Could be ideal. What's melee attack rate? Adds to expertise. So actually, Lady Wu, we're going to equip this to you. It just increases your weapon ability just a slight so much. And that gets rid of all the ancillaries. Okay, I think what we will do at this time is I'm going to ponder, actually no, before we cut off this episode, let's get Sun Tse out of town. He doesn't need to be in Zhongling. He needs to be chasing down Liu Biao's force. Decide to ease on down the river here. And we want to keep tabs on him. We don't want him to get too far away from us. There we go. I think what we also need to look at is Jiangxia port, since he seems to be heading that way with a serious enough force. Let's see if we can upgrade. It won't upgrade in time if that's where the destination is for Liu Biao's force, but we'll have to make it work and recapture right away if that's what his intention is. And who do we have over here? Cao Cao has an army over here. I am welcome. He's coming down, knocking on the back door here. Looks like we may have some fun on the next episode with Cao Cao trying to sneak in behind me here in a forced march stance. Too bad I don't have any movement left after we just finished our battle for the farmland. But next turn, tune in and let's see what happens if Cao Cao runs away with his tail between his legs, or if we have a decisive battle that maybe ends this attack of Cao Cao and forces a peace. This is ZigZagZog signing off from a wet western Kentucky today. We're getting remnants of that tropical storm down in the Gulf that just keep the rain a-coming today. Hope y'all enjoyed the episode, and I'll see y'all next time.